everybody. I am Shanae Jones. It is Wednesday at 9:30, which means it is my opportunity to talk to you about K and KY. Did it right last week. K and KY. Know the new kinky you. Um, First, let me just say that I appreciate everyone who does have the opportunity to either tune in live or check in later. It is an awesome experience to be able to have a platform where you can kind of talk about your passion projects, and kinky is definitely a passion project for me. I had some reflections in that it's been just about a year, over a year when I started my started my certification program at Sex Coach University, and it was right on the tail end of me finishing a different certification program for DC government. And in that process, I spent a year with a group of people who initially I had no idea who these people were. I was familiar with one person because we worked for the same agency, another person because we had happened to work for the same agency for a very short period of time. But over the course of a year, you build relationships and you build bonds, and you just when you build these connections with people, when you build real connections with people, there's just no measure to the amount of support that your adopted family can give you. And I've had a chance to really just be encouraged and receive a lot of support from those individuals and others. And so far this is a brand new experience for me, but at the same time, I am embracing it. I am moving forward. Hey, Jimmy, how are you? I miss you. How are you? This is a brand new experience for me to take something that Jimmy, we've been out, and I have the sensibilities to be able to make, thank you, sir, make any conversation. And hey, Tanika, you owe me something. I'm waiting for you. Take the opportunity to have conversations and turn these conversations into something that is reflective of me and my personal life at the moment, other people in their lives. And, what I've realized is that conversations are more comfortable around people that you are comfortable with. So this whole era of being on social media and talking about intimate concerns might not be the best suited for everyone. And I get that. There are people that are able to go on to different social media platforms and you'll see pictures of titties and ass. And I post those same things too, because that's what gets people talking. If I can figure out a way to have people engage in positive sexual conversation without the need to, I don't want to say degrade, because it's not a degrading factor, but to reduce it down to something just as simple as titties and ass, just to get people's attention. There's a better way to have these conversations, and that's what I'm looking to try to get people to engage in. So going back earlier, I mentioned that I had the opportunity to visit with, actually, we had a brunch on Monday with my CPM group. And honestly, since actually before then, I've been feeling kind of just blah. In the last couple of days, I even took off work. So, you have to listen to your body. Your body is telling you when to calm things down. I traveled with my daughter to Texas this past weekend. She went to a martial arts tournament where she placed in all three of the things that she did. She won 2 first place medals and she won a 3rd place medal for her first event. And I was really super, super proud of her. And then as soon as we get back, it's like your body just crashes. And as much as you want to be able to be Superwoman and Superman and do all things for everybody, there are going to be times where you just can't. You have to be your best self. And so, I'm thinking back to that Snoop Dogg and Duval song, "You Living Your Best Life." I don't agree with, I may have mentioned this before, I don't agree with all of the lyrics in that song, but to live your best life means taking care of yourself and being able to put yourself in a position to take care of others. So for the last couple of days, I'm sitting and I'm like, oh God, I'm so tired. I'm run down. You can see I'm ad-libbing all of this because I haven't had a chance to really reflect on a specific topic. But typically what happens over the course of a week to week. It's I'll engage in different conversations. I'll be with certain people, and certain things will come up as things to talk to you guys about. So just hit on a couple of things. So for instance, I'm talking specifically about your body being run down and being tired and not always being up to everything. While I was with my group, one of my girlfriends said, she has never in her, I think, 11 years of marriage, never turned her husband down for sex. I can't relate to that, because if I am down and out, there's like no opportunity for me to say, yes, babe, even if it's a quick, sometimes you have to say no and be okay with no. And then have your partner not feel like they are being rejected because you have to take care of yourself first. It's a very delicate thing that you have to be mindful of. So as you are conversing with your partner, it's really important to be open about where you are physically, where you are emotionally, where you are even spiritually. In my certification program, there are 5 aspects of self that people need to be mindful of regarding sexuality, but it goes for everything. It's mind, it's MEBS, MEBES. So the first part is mind. So it's all about your mental state. Are you that's how I feel. But I'm like, she literally said she's never turned her husband down for sex. And I looked at her like she was kind of crazy. I'm like, you have to, now I get that you aren't going to be, and I'm not getting off topic. I get that you should be in the mood. And I know that at times men and women go about giving of themselves when they are not particularly in the mood. But when it comes to sex, you have these factors that you have to take in mind. So the M is mind, it's your mental. Am I in the right state of mind to be intimate with somebody and give them my best self? E is emotions. Am I emotionally connected to this person? Because although there are benefits to angry sex, if you are in the moment bitter and angry with the person that you are about to be intimate with, that is not necessarily going to be a great sexual experience. So you need to keep your emotional state in check as well. Your body, your physical self. So, body tends to focus on either your body image, whether or not you are comfortable with your look, weight issues, body issues. It can also be related to touch, whether or not, how are you responding to the physical, what is your physical response to your partner and how they're displaying the fact that they want to be intimate with you. So there's the body. Your body has to be in tune. And the second E is energy. So remember I told you, like, after days and days of running, my energy level was completely blasted. I'm like barely holding on. I think I came in the house and grabbed a blanket and probably laid down on this couch. It was just like I couldn't make it any further. So it's like your energy has to be at a certain place. And the last factor is spirit. And spirit and spirituality is different for everyone. This is not necessarily a religious aspect. It is more of a connected aspect of where you are in your life and where you are with your partner, how connected you feel together. So this MEBS model is what this particular doctor who I'm studying under, Dr. Patty Britton, this is her philosophy. As I'm going through and finishing the certification, and I'm after my practicum, which is the opportunity that I get to serve as a coach to an actual client that has a concern, working with that person. And for instance, if anybody, I know I have one potential person who should be paying attention to this, has a concern that they want to go over. I am offering, as part of my certification process, 1 to 2 free sessions where we can work together. And basically what we'll do is we'll complete an assessment. And once you complete that assessment, it'll be something that we'll review. Then we can have a conversation to see if it's something that, now because it's the practicum, it's a very temporary situation. So this particular practicum event is solely for the experience of going through the coursework and the certification. So it will be 1 to 2 sessions where we are going over your goals. And at the end, I would develop a report for you that would go over action steps and plans that would reflect based off of those, the MEABS model that I just talked to you about. And then there's also a implicit model where we talk about permission, limited information, specific suggestions, and intense coaching. Because our interaction would not be long-term for the purpose of the practicum, we wouldn't necessarily address any type of intense coaching. However, what we would do is determine whether or not there is a need, purpose, desire after the practicum to continue our sessions, and then we would go in and reformat our service agreement, our contract. So if there's anyone interested in participating in that, like I said, 1 to 2 free sessions, and I would be more than happy to work with you because you're helping me out, and it would be mutually beneficial for that particular experience. So with the regard to just living your best life, it is really understanding where you are, who you are in a particular moment, because it fluctuates. I was watching a commercial, I think it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and they were going over the signs to put on the bathroom, and they decided to call it gender fluid because, it's speaking to the fact that, people day to day may feel a certain kind of way. I mean, I'm pretty confident 100% female and going into the women's restroom. I know that there are other people that struggle with their sexual identity, and it's not a concern that I've had to deal with, and I don't know how to relate to someone who has those particular issues. And that's one of the things about being a coach as well, is you have to know how to help somebody. And if somebody's issue goes beyond what it is that I can offer them, then my job is to get them resources that would be more appropriate to them and what it is that they need. So with all of that being said, when you are looking at what works best for you and your life, you have to go in and say, I am confident that with my mind, my emotions, my body, my energy, my spirit, that I am living the best life. I am doing the absolute best I can. And if there is an opportunity for you to take a breather and a step back to say, you know what, something is off balance, something isn't quite right, it's okay to take that step back and just say, you know what, I need an opportunity to myself to reclaim what it is that I have to do to get my life back to where it needs to be. And if, for instance, this is a progressive thing for all of us. I am today in a position where I am trying to go about day-to-day life and start a business and start something that, frankly, a lot of people are not necessarily comfortable with. In fact, for those who have, listened before, I'm going through a personal issue that impacts my daughter, and it's a stressful situation. I mean, and not even that it has to be, but when you become a parent, you want, and sometimes I can't even believe that I am a parent, but I am, and now I'm responsible for this little girl, and I want her to have every opportunity that she can to be her best self. And I have to make sure that I am affording her those opportunities. And, when you are going through stressful situations, you want to make sure that there's no negative impact or reflection on your family and those people that are around you. When I'm thinking about her and when I'm doing kinky, I have an aunt who I love very, very much. And she's a pastor. And so as I'm going through this situation with my daughter, she's like, do you need to be careful about what you post on the internet, with your business? And I'm like, no, I think I'm good. I don't have any real concerns about, my business, because with regards to my business, I'm not, a prostitute. I'm not advocating for people to pay for sex. I'm not, having sex live on tape. There's none of those things. This sex is a very natural part of life. And people so quickly forget how, in a bad day, a stressful moment, sex is one of the things that can help turn your day around if you've had a shitty day. As long as you are connected, as long as you have that mental, emotional, the body, spiritual energy levels up to where they're supposed to be, it can be a very fulfilling thing. And so, just to keep everything in perspective, in order for you to live your best life, you have to know what it is that you want out of it. You have to be able to engage and move forward in a way that is purposeful. And that goes through every aspect of your life. When it comes to your sexual health and your sexual happiness, it's the same way. You have to operate under the understanding that this is what is best for you. This is what's going to make you happy. And it doesn't have to stand up to anybody else's standards. Whatever is good for that person over there, it doesn't have to be good for you. It has to just be whatever your lane is, whatever your swim lane is, you have to be comfortable in that. And don't give a crap what other people think if it's not up to their standards or if it's not something that they're really interested in doing. So as you go through life, things happen. You travel, you have family commitments, you have things that you have to do. And sometimes, sex, like, it's pushed to the bottom. Your energies, yourself isn't quite there all the time. And, that's okay too. You don't always have to be on, but you do have to be communicative. You do have to talk to your partner. You do have to have that relationship where you aren't rejecting is not the right word. It's where you aren't being selfish. You have to be mindful of other people that you have in your life and what the impact that you have on them is in general. So to wrap up, because I still don't feel all that well, but to wrap up, a couple of things. Follow me on social media. It's Do You KNKY across all social media platforms. Please visit the website. I'm a week behind or so on updating the blog, but if you go to the website, you'll see all of the services and offerings. Hello, Stanley Coleman, how are you? If you go look at the website, you'll see the services and things like that. And I'll actually be adding to the website soon some of the product offerings that I'll be posting on the site. But read the blogs. I actually would appreciate any feedback as to conversations that are of interest to you, because as of right now, I'm really just picking things that I think are interesting based off of conversations that I've had, like I said, in the past week or so. So if there are things that are interested in you or you want to talk about, feel free to reach out and let me know. Also, don't forget that I have the practicum coming up and I'm offering free sessions to individuals who may be interested in coaching. So it would be a mutually beneficial thing for both of us. And if you are interested in that, send me a direct message and we can have that conversation. Also, you will see me this weekend. I'm not sure when it will be posted, but I'm doing a webcast interview with Arabia Ask. So look for that. It'll be an interview where I'll be the Bae of the Week for her program. So I was supposed to do it on Monday, but the day kind of got away from me. I took my mom to get tattoos for her birthday. She's had 4 since my last one, so I'm feeling kind of bad about that. Anyway, remember social media, remember the websites. The message for today is really just live your best life and don't forget to take care of yourself. Have a good one. See you next week.